Inspiration is something we helps us to start, which is very important. And how do we create inspiration? And sometimes we actually do it subconsciously. We sometimes do not think of it, but goals is one of the most important, and I think plays the most important role in inspiration. We cannot be easily inspired if we don't have any goals to follow. That's why, by the way, we all have OKRs. This is the same methodology. We all have to have those goals to keep us inspired. And what I mean by that, it helps us to start. Because if we see the goal, we want to reach that goal, it gives us this energy to start. Now we're ready to start. Goal inspires us. And I suggest, at least I do that, I'm going to share it with a couple of next slides. You make goals for yourself. You not only work on OKRs at your workplace, but you also make the goals for your life, for all the aspects of your life which you have. And I'm going to share how I do that. Then you have the goals, try to visualize them. It usually works very good. What I do is I visualize them, and I'll also share this experience with you. And the third part, of course, inspiring mentors, videos, books, and podcasts. You can listen to them. You can use these mentorships to get inspired, because when you see how someone does something which you are really interested in, and the person is willing to share it with you, whether it's going to be the book or the personal conversation mentorship or something like it, coaching, you get inspired. Actually, at least I get inspired a lot. The goals, they are super important to get things done, and not done, but started. And personally myself, I try to think of my life as this formula here. I kind of choose out those four main pillars of the good life for myself, which is health, wealth, love, and happiness. And I know I have to work on the first three ones, which is health, wealth, and love. And happiness will come kind of on its own if I'm going to succeed in those first three. Because in the end of the day, this is one of the public opinions, but I kind of join this opinion. In the end of the day, each of us, if we think really deeply, at first we might say something different, but if we think very deeply, each of us just in the end of the day want to feel happy. Whatever makes us happy makes us happy. We feel happy. We all strive for that. We don't strive for money, for top positions in the company and stuff like that. We kind of try to find out ourselves and just feel happy. If you feel happy, we feel happy. So for me, feel happy means I'm very successful in the health part of the life. I'm successful in wealth and love, friends, love, romance. And what I do is I actually put the goals for each one of them every single year. Every single year I have a goal, a lot of them actually, where I put them in Asana, by the way. But of course, it doesn't matter what you use, what tools you use to create those goals. But I create goals for health, I create goals for wealth, and I create goals for love. Of course, I have also the goals which are related to the business and the company I'm working with, those OKRs, but I combine them all. I do not only leave on the table the goals which I have related with my work, but I also do them in my daily life. Therefore, it not only helps me to achieve those goals, of course, but it helps me to the goals which company, the OKRs what company is trying to work with are not that weird to me. They're obvious to me because I understand what goals means, and I create those same goals for my private life as well. So it only makes sense for me to make goals at work, and then the company offers me to go and work through the OKRs. I'm very happy of it because I know that thing works, because I use it in my private life as well. So in Asana, for example, I have this project for myself. As you see, I have health, wealth, and love and happiness. 3 projects which I have, and in each project I create initiatives actually. For every single year, I create what I want to do. Like this is love and happiness, and I split the categories and I put the stuff what I want to do. to succeed in this particular category of my life. This is kind of the roadmap here. Wealth. I put stuff for wealth as well. Health. It's still wealth. Yeah, it's, by the way, the education, the mentors, and what I was talking about. So I have the most important thing just to kind of emphasize on what I want to learn this year, for example. Live events I want to go to, which will promote my personal growth and stuff like that. Mentors and online programs I want to go through. Again, I'm kind of trying to follow and practice what I preach. And everything what I say today is the things what I have done. It's not the theory, it's the practice what I have done myself. And that's why I'm sharing it with you today and sharing my experience, how did it work for me. I have the same for health. And I just put and list everything what I want to do. And you see like there's some done things and stuff like that. And I combine it all in the to-do list. I have January here, I have February there, so for every single month I kind of split them what part of all the whole thing I want to do, and I implement it actually in my daily life. And when I go through the programs from the teaching for the podcast and reading the books, I actually not only read them and forget about them, I kind of document them. And in Asana I also have the projects for each and every book or the program where I kind of sit down after I read something or I've heard something and I document it for myself. And usually it helps me to also get out some kind of initiatives which I want to implement into my life, and I just put it in one of those categories again in the project in Asana. And just and by the way, in the previous slide you see in the very bottom, name Irina, this is my wife. I also delegate some tasks for her to make sure we achieve our common goals. So yeah, goals inspire me, and I have the system how to. So I guess with this, I just want to say that take a look at take a look whether you have goals, what kind of goals you have, whether they cover all aspects of your life, and maybe you should work a little harder on those goals and cover more aspects of your life if you want to achieve more in whatever aspects of your life you are interested in. And of course at work is very important. Visualizations, as I said, visualizations are very good to remind you of your goals. Because yeah, okay, you can have the goal. I have this Asana, I have so many initiatives in a project and stuff like that. I cannot keep them all in my head to get inspired every single day. So I have to do something to actually get reminded of it. So this is one of my desktops. I just put these 4 pillars to understand, to remember. And as soon as I open my computer, I see that, and I kind of linked myself to those goals. And I'm now in the mood and in the groove to work on those goals on my in my daily routines. This is the second picture what I have on my second desktop. That picture was taken a long time ago, but this actually was the time where I have decided to change, and I was on this path of finding the way how to change, how to get rid of that all only working thing, and actually find some harmony and some balance in my life and do changes. And I took this picture, and this change came from this place. So this place always there. It helps me to stay on track because I understand and I remember how easy it is to get off track and push on the brakes. But I want to push on the gas pedal all the time, so I keep this to remind me of those times. So visualizations are very good to get you inspired as well, and to link you and sync you always with your goals. Of course, inspiring mentors, books like this. How many? 6 guys? Yeah, these 6 guys I follow a lot. I study about them deeply, and a lot of stuff I'm talking today I learned from them. Not only, but I try to limit myself to make sure I don't spread my focus too much. But these guys, the ones who help me also understand and learn a lot of things, what I know today, and I try to implement in my life. And they inspire me, of course, with their action, with their success, with the things what they do. And this is how and where I get the inspiration. I also have them by my side all the time in my bookmarks bar. Their pages, their resources, everything is there, so I can easily approach them when I need it. Yeah, I put this book, Reading Bible. It's kind of not part of the structure, but as we start to talk about books, and we're talking today about efficiency, and what kind of tools we can use to actually do the things right. So to read books, I don't know if someone of you read books and how many of them, and if you like books or not, but there is a lot of techniques how to read books and how to actually like to do that. And I want to share mine, which worked for me a lot. I wouldn't read at all till I was like 30 probably. I didn't like, I hated. Now I love it, and I think it's just because one of those mentors actually we just previously showed, it was Tai Lopez on the left corner there. He showed, and he had a program of how to read the books. He read one book every single day. He read more than 10,000 books so far. He has like the biggest private library of books ever, and he's like the expert of reading books, and he has the whole teaching lessons which are paid of how to read books, because he's done it and he's doing it like the whole life. I bought that course, I went it through because I wanted to start read books. So there are 3 types of books you want to read, and this is super important. The first one is history. Why history? It's just because like 80% of the events which happen in our life, they repeat themselves. So therefore, when you study history, you actually position yourself. Again, remember positioning tools. You position yourself, and you can predict a lot of things that are going to happen in the future by knowing what has happened in the past. Therefore, history is very important to read. Not only the books which improve your skills or something like it, the history is super important, and there are a lot of things which basically conclude the history in a very small books like that. And you can read it within a couple of days, but you can go through the whole history of the whole world. And by the way, it's very important you read them in the mornings. I will explain why a little later. Another type of books you want to read is biographies, and that's usually you do in the evening. It gives you courage. As I said, that book, Michael Jordan, The Life, this is the book which you would like to read in the evening, and this is the biography. It gives you courage. You get very excited of how someone can achieve whatever they achieve. You get inspired by them as well, and it gives you a good sleep as well. And of course, field studies, whatever you want to study, like efficiency, IT, development books and stuff like that, usually read them due daytime. It's not a good thing to read them in the evenings because they make your brain race and think and start to build ideas and stuff like that. And then you're going to have less efficient sleep, which we're going to talk about later on as well. Another thing is very important, which worked for me like a charm, is, as he calls it, Tai Lopez calls it, golden nugget rule, is that he says, and it's really true, at least for me, you take a book, you start to read it, you read it, and I don't know, that book has like 150 pages, and out of these 150 pages, you actually took maybe only 2 things which kind of resonated with you, and you try to implement those 2 things. So, and those 2 things were on 2 pages of this book, but the book has like 150 pages, right? So what we usually do is we are so persistent, we take the book, and our goal is to read this book from A to Z. Only then we're going to start reading another book. And we lose here a lot of time and a lot of opportunities. Because if this is true, if we can find only a couple of those golden nuggets in one book, we have to have the better technique to search for them, find them, get them, and get to another book. We don't need to care about 150 pages in this particular book because it's not for us. It's wasting of time. So one of the golden nugget rules is table of content kind of reading. So basically, you open the book, you look at the content of the book, table content of the book, you scan it through, and you see what is something which kind of took your attention, and you kind of liked it, and you think, oh, I like this thing, I would read about that. And you just skip to those pages which actually this thing is written, and you just read that. That's it. Because anything else were not kind of talking to you. You were not interested in anything else. That's probably why, because you are in the stage of your life right now, you're not ready to consume that information in those pages. That's probably, usually that's the case. And they're not going to work for you anyways, and you're not going to absorb this information anyway. So you read that, you put that book aside, multiple attempts I call it, you put this book aside and you take another one, and you again do the same thing, and you again read only things which you're interested, and then you do again with another book. And you actually have like 4 or 5 books open and reading simultaneously. Not like literally right now simultaneously, but like throughout the day or throughout the week. And that's how you are getting those golden nuggets a lot faster, with not actually reading the book from A to Z and not spending that huge amount of time. And the last thing is, that was simultaneous reading, but multiple attempts. So you were not ready to consume this information a week ago, but now 1 year passed. You got new experience through this 1 year. You got new things. You learned new things. And now you positioned yourself differently. So what they suggested and what I actually do, and I have tested it already, you go through those same books again. You again open up this table of content, and you start to read it through. And now you have different topics which kind of stand out. And now you want to read them because you got the different experience on top of you, and now this experience makes you open to those topics, and you open them up and you read them again. You do it with another book. Eventually you might read them all from A to Z, but you got your golden nuggets a lot quicker, and you can implement it in your life already. And then you get another golden nuggets as you grow. And this is how you read books, and this is how the process might be fun for you and very efficient, because you combine it with 3 different types. You read history, biographies, and like the stuff which might improve your skills, and at the same time you read it efficiently, meaning you are as quick as possible to get those golden nuggets out for yourself, which is most added value to you as a person and to your life. So this is a recap on inspiration. To get talking about the activities, to actually start doing something, you have to have this inspiration. And what I do is, and a lot of people do that as well, we put the goals in. We create the goals for everything we do. We visualize them to make sure it makes us remember stuff, and we kind of linked ourselves to our goals literally every single day, because we tune ourselves in. And we should get inspired by books, by mentors we have in our daily life, on maybe weekly life, wherever coaches we have. Listen to the podcasts, read to books and stuff like that.